Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Book Coven.
Gotta get it out. Welcome.
That's Lillian.
That's Chelsea.
And we are your witchy gal pals.
We sure as fuck are.
Coming at you yet again with a bi-weekly book review. And we do this in a variety of topics.
Yep.
You know, mostly dark and dreary, but...
Usually. Yeah, we like to splash that in most of our themes.
Yeah.
Because we want to read what we enjoy.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't want to just be
nothing
shitting on
wrong
books
with
all the
that.
time, you know?
No.
We have short reviews and witchy posts over on the Instagram at the.book.coven.
Hell yeah.
Along with some bonus content,
Hell yeah,
as
brother.
well as on the YouTube, some bonus content.
Hell yeah, brother. Oh, my.
And this is the baritone.
Scare them away.
Oh, we also have some merch. Linked over
Beautiful
on the
merch.
Instagram.
Beautiful merch.
Witchy.
Designed by Chelsea over her.
It's witchy.
Hell yeah.
That's for if you're feeling excellent. Ha!
Who isn't ever? Always be excellent.
ABH.
Always be excellent.
ABHA. Today, we're continuing one of our favorite, yes,
Murder.
deserves an applause. Murder, true crime.
Crimes.
I mean,
And
there's
then justice.
There's no murder in this true crime, but it is true crime.
God, I wish I could just fucking snort the justice you get in these books. Okay, here we go,
Hook
baby.
it to my veins. Feeling so just right
Oh,
now.
God, yeah. Where's the Justice
Where's
League?
the justice? Superman, hello?
I keep sniffling. I swear I'm not sick.
She's trying to kill us.
I think it's just allergies, dust. All day today, it's just been...
It's also a little dry in here. That'll do it too.
dry in here. It's dry in here.
Oh. So we're gonna rip into some NXIVM.
Yep.
That fun new cult.
Next.
The book is called "Don't Call It a Cult" by Sarah Berman, and this is a hot synopsis. They draw you in with the promise of empowerment, self-discovery, women helping women. The more secretive those connections are, the more exclusive you feel. Little do you know, you just joined a cult. Sex trafficking, self-help coaching, forced labor, mentorship, multi-level marketing, gaslighting. Investigative journalist Sarah Berman explores the shocking practices of NXIVM, a global organization run by Keith Raniere, and his high-profile enablers. Through the accounts of central NXIVM figures, Berman unravels how young women seeking creative coaching and networking opportunities found themselves blackmailed, literally branded, near-starved, and enslaved. With the help of the Bronfman fortune, Raniere built a wall of silence around these abusers, leveraging the legal system to go after enemies and whistleblowers. Don't Call It a Cult shows that these abuses looked very different from the inside, where young women initially received mentorship and protection. Don't Call It a Cult is a riveting account of NXIVM's rise to power, its ability to evade prosecution for decades, and the investigation that finally revealed its dark secrets to the world. It explores why so many were drawn to its message of empowerment, yet could not recognize its manipulative and harmful leader for what he was, a criminal.
A cunt?
That too.
A criminal and a cunt.
There's certain things you can't put on the back of a book, you know.
Straight
Children.
up cunt. What
Man's a
child is going to read this?
Yeah, but they even in some podcasts that you know are for adults, they're just like, no, we have to beep out
in
any
case
swears.
the kids find themselves in the true crime section. You know what? I looked at true crime when I was a kid. I turned out all right.
I also swore.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert,
Ooh.
parents. Your kids are swearing.
I'm an evil bastard now because I swore. Oh.
Oh my God. Potions and pairings.
Ooh, yeah.
So
It's
we are
pink.
going to be drinking the Kool-Aid today. Adult Kool-Aid. It's
I
pink.
love a pink beverage.
Smells like coconut and watermelon. Oh, that's fucking weird, but it's kind of good.
It's pleasant. It's very sweet, though.
Yeah,
My golly.
that's the tonic water. The Kool-Aid thing that I put in has no sugar. It has nothing in it. I don't know what it's made of.
Chemicals.
I'm concerned.
Chemicals.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it tastes like watermelon Kool-Aid. with a splash that'll get you.
It'll get you. It's the poison one.
I'm all right with it, Chelsea.
Let's do this. And that's a cult for you.
Yep, that's how they roll.
I didn't make food because they specifically did not eat because they were starving themselves for some deranged lunatic.
It's hard to get a pairing for a true crime book.
It is.
You know, you don't really want to be munching while you're like,
Not
and then
really.
she fucking died.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, you just feel bad
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to eat anything. It's okay. Disclaimer. I wanted to disclaim.
Okay.
There will be no victim blaming in this
Of course.
podcast.
Yeah.
Anyone listening, you know, I know how some people like to say, how did they end up in a cult? That wouldn't happen to me. And that's not why we're here today. Because the point is, these people were very smart, very well off.
No one expects.
And you never
be in a cult.
expect. You don't join like, hey, want to join our cult? And you're like, okay, it's not that simple.
A lot of them were quoted saying, like, when they first read about it, they're like, I don't know, this sounds like a cult.
Right.
They still found themselves in a cult.
Because they ended up going and they were
Fucking
like, wow,
happens,
I
man.
like the empowerment. And
Yep.
then now you're in. You're locked and loaded.
They get you. They get you.
So we're just going to get that out of the way.
Yep.
And here we go. What did you think of the book?
I love first of all, this case, I love this case, so
Yeah.
I knew I was already going to go into it excited. My only criticism of the book, it kind of goes all over the place. I was a little confused in the timeline
Okay.
because there's a lot of dates. It goes back and forth. Sometimes, like, it only briefly mentions the past, and then we're in the future again, and I was like, hold on a minute.
When am I?
What?
When am I?
When, where, why, how, where, what's happening. But other than that, very good book. I love the roasting of Keith every time the author had to put in, like, oh, yeah, he made claims that he was the smartest man in the world, but actually he was mediocre in school.
There's a whole chapter on why he wasn't the smartest man in the world.
I love how no one's like, oh, my God, this man, he's so remarkable. Nope, she was like, he's a piece of shit.
He's not remarkable.
Yeah.
And you know what? They never are. They're always
No.
just lying about their shit life.
No one ever in the cult world has been what they say they are.
Bikram yoga. That guy lied about a lot of stuff.
You'd think we'd all learn by now, but they're so smart with the people they target.
So true.
Fucking hate a cult and love a cult. I love fun to read about.
I know. Oh, fancy that. Well, this is true crime.
Yeah.
Our main genre. It's not like our typical true crime with the murders and the kidnappings and stuff.
There was some suicides, but no, like, murder.
Yeah, I mean, that we know
I
of.
mean, like,
he did say, like,
he's done some
I've had to kill for blah, blah, blah.
I definitely think they've killed people. But yeah, it's not like he's not like physically there killing people.
Right,
in the
and
book.
that's not like
yeah.
that's not why he's in jail.
Yeah, it's a bit of a Charles Manson vibe where like he technically like he did a lot psychologically, but like physically to pin him on, that's why he got away with it for so long.
Right, and because he didn't use his own money, right?
Yeah,
so everything's in someone else's name.
Squirrely fuck this guy.
Yeah, it's like you can't just fool people and think like, well, now I'm evading the law.
It's even more infuriating that way. He did nothing, but he's the leader. He got all these people to do whatever he asked them to do.
Wild things. Wild things. Bananas. Fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Fascinating. Great true crime. And of course, cult is a genre.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just great.
Cult
There
fiction.
should always be cults.
It's
things.
such a study of the human brain and manipulation. You get sucked in. You can't help be fascinated by it.
Yeah,
How does it happen?
Exactly. That's why I love cults. It was, it was obviously a perfect fit for the category, even though no one, like, was convicted on, like, cult charges specifically, right? But obviously that's kind of how this whole thing operated
Yeah.
with their weird belief system and charismatic leader. It had all the cult tropes.
That sounds like a cult to me. Yep.
Yep, charismatic leader who thinks he has a magical dick.
course.
Sexual abuse of minors.
Yep.
Exploitation of people.
Yep.
And the ridiculous spending of everyone else's money.
Yep. Millions upon millions upon millions.
Of someone else.
If I was a billionaire and my daughters used my money to fund this man's cult,
I know. You're cut off.
would have cut them off ages ago.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I don't know.
I'm not their parent.
I know. He seemed to love them a lot. And he's just like, I just want the best for you. Can you stop supporting this man?
Yeah. You know how you get them to stop supporting this man? Stop giving them means to support that man.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Cut off the funnel, man. Man. Let's talk about gaslighting first. Just, you know, get it out of the way. Get that rage.
Because that was really his skill.
That was his skill.
Yeah.
And I know we've talked about gaslighting for, like, many books.
It comes up a lot.
It comes up. It's surprising how many things it's in.
It's because it's so ingrained and people think, like, oh, yeah, they won't notice this. But we know now.
Yeah.
We know you're
We can break it down.
Yeah.
We
Every time a man talks to me, I expect they're going to try to gaslight me at some point. So I'm like, all right, when's it coming? Fucking ready.
My mind is ready. You do have to be ready.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. Always trust yourself. That's the most important part. But gaslighting is a very good form of manipulation and control. The most prevalent form of it, I guess, like, the best example I can think of for the book, like what he did, was when he took Daniela to, like, some random house, made them both take their clothes off. He's like, oh, you know, we're going to both strip down. You lay on the bed. He just laid on top of her naked in, like, a weird embrace, and then got up and left. And he told her that they had sex. He's like, yeah, I penetrated you. You don't remember? Yep. He was basically just testing how much he was able to put in her head. Like, how much can I lie to her and her be like, okay.
Yeah, which he did over and over. Yep. Oh, my. He makes me so sick.
And he couldn't let it go, right? Like, so she's just like, did that happen? And did I just, like, blank out?
Yeah, he'll never stop saying he did what he told you he did.
Mm-hmm. He's insane.
And he to plan that out, you know, wonder how long it took him. Like, okay, so we're going to go on this day. Here's what I got to say to her. Exactly what I got to say to her to trigger her.
Oh, that's fucking
absurd.
And how many other women did he do this to, right? Probably all of them. That's probably how he gauged their, like, reaction to his whole thing.
Yeah, test them out, and then all his other devout followers, they're so, like, they've drank the Kool-Aid so much that they'll defend his gaslighting. So it's just like double the gaslighting happening.
Because they trust anything he says.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so true. It's like a gaslighter.
Yeah, anything that didn't come from his mouth was suspicious to them.
Yeah. Brutal. Yeah, he was also telling them they were acting crazy when they wanted anything from him.
Yep.
That he didn't want to provide. He's like, oh, no, you're being ridiculous. This isn't how – you're trying to hurt me and blah.
Yes, his whole like, yeah, we're connected physically, emotionally, so when you do this, it causes me physical pain.
I can feel it from wherever I am.
You're killing me. I'm dying now. Oh. Okay, then die.
Then just die.
You can find it. I didn't do anything for you to supposedly feel all these things. It's not my problem. Fucking die then.
It's just funny because, like, I love my husband. Mm-hmm. But if he said some stupid shit like that to me, it would just be like, well, just die.
Oh, yeah. The second anyone has...
That's just so stupid.
Anything they're holding over my head, especially if it's a life.
Oh, my God.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't care.
Bye.
Nope.
That's just weird.
And they'll just yell the whole time, like, I'm going to do it. The knife's on my wrist. And I'm like, look, it's you. I can't control what you're going to do. That's a stupid fucking call.
I can't change my energy that you're trying to... What are you even making me do?
I'll just be in court like, at no point did I say do this. He just fucking did this, and now I'm here. So, this is a him problem.
Leave me out of it. Bye. What did you think was the most, like... hardcore proof of gaslighting from him?
It's all like, it's not just like the brainwashing for me was the worst part of this whole thing. Where anytime someone is questioned, it's like, no, this is what we discussed when we were together. We just talked about it for hours. Here's everything you said to me. Like, he'll run the whole conversation back to you. In just little differences.
Mm-hmm. Just enough.
Hoping that you won't pick it up. It's fucking sick.
It's brutal.
And he has that one, Nancy Salzman, who's a trained She was studying
neuro-linguistic programming.
Yeah. So he fucking worked with her to get the perfect way to do it. Mm-hmm. Oh my God! And then just like Daniela's whole imprisonment.
Yeah, like 2 years.
Everything you're doing is wrong. You have to show penance for the penance. Whatever, for this, or again, like, I'm dying if you don't. I'm gonna feel you if you're not at this ideal weight that I've set for you. I will feel everything you're putting into your body. I'm so betrayed.
You looked at another man. I'm hurt and betrayed.
Oh,
my energy.
Grow up. Fuck.
Only men can be polyamorous.
Sure, Keith.
Well, that leads me to sexism and the eating disorders.
Yep.
Which was all super sad. Yep. Oh, my God. But that's why I'm putting them together, because it was always, like, the women that ended up having the eating disorders because of all the sexism that was, like, the women have to be this specific weight.
Oh, and the fucking men were doing, like, military training, combat training, sports. They were like, we're the superior, like, the toxic masculinity. That was their whole thing.
That was the whole fucking vibe. Yeah. That was the thing, right? They had Jeunesse, which is the women's group, where they teach them that you have to be monogamous and you need to stop, like, nagging men and leave men alone, basically.
And their whole thing, they put the women, the Jeunesse women, into their male version of that, where they just humiliated them and tortured them for weeks.
That was the women who were like, well, I want to learn what they're learning.
Oh, yeah, that was you have to learn how men grew up to really experience
so we're going to humiliate you. Yeah. Oh, so you're saying women haven't been humiliated growing up? Everyone experiences shame and embarrassment. Yeah. It's not...
Also, did they do that in their program? Because it looked like you were just playing volleyball all day.
I know.
So why are the women doing planks and you're just throwing them all around?
Oh, and that too. The women weren't allowed to play volleyball. Yeah. So it was like weird little cliques of women on the sidelines. And then the one girl who wants to play, you have to prove that you can play as well as a man.
Ugh. It was very much like the men are superior, the women are, they're the slaves.
They're the slaves.
Whatever you want, we'll do for you.
And they
die in a fire.
By that point, they already like want his babies, so it's like it's hard for them to say no because they're just like, well,
put it in multiple women's minds that it was okay for him to test which one of them was right to be a mom.
Oh, that's so brutal, hanging them on by a fucking thread. But what really grinded my gears, real bad, was when he said to Camilla, the 15-year-old girl, I know she was older by then, but the extra weight hurts my heart physically when I'm with you, after she gained 7 pounds. Hurts my heart physically when I'm with, like, you just stab him.
Yeah.
Stab him. That's all.
You know what hurts my heart? When you had sex with me when I was a child, and I have not been able to be a child since meeting you, because I have to be your weird slave now. That physically hurts.
That physically hurts, yeah. Women everywhere.
Also, I don't give a fuck if it hurts you. My fucking weight?
Oh, no. He was getting women to text him what weight they were every day if they were, like, supposed to be losing
Tubs?
weight. Yeah.
I saw your belly.
Yeah, and he plays volleyball all day and walks all the time.
Yes,
why aren't you fit?
You're just a fucking dad, bod. And you don't have an excuse because you're not a dad.
No.
You can work out all fucking day long.
And he does. Where does it go? Like, where's...
Just the women just feed him fucking grapes or whatever all day. I don't know.
He's just eating good meals.
Oh my God. 100, like one of them was below 100 pounds.
100 pounds or less. And like, I'm sorry, these women probably aren't 4'10", so I imagine that that's just very unhealthy.
Oh yeah. All of them were described as being gaunt, sickly.
Yeah, because tired. Keith isn't a registered dietitian or nutritionist.
Yes, none of them
so
had
why listen to him?
Professional fucking work in what they were doing.
No. That's just all you need is the charisma. And people think like, you said you're the smartest man, so you have qualifications.
And the whole thing, like, the weaker you are, the more the more susceptible you are to his manipulation because you're so tired. You're fucking starved. You haven't slept. You don't know what the fuck's going on.
That's part of the whole game plan for him, right? Keep them starved, and then they're easier to manipulate.
They hate him.
I know.
So much.
Oh, and of course he started DOS.
Yep.
I love he led that lie on as much as he could that it wasn't him who started it.
I don't know nothing about this.
No, that was all just the women.
Okay.
And here's these audio recordings.
Yeah. Idiots. All of it is recorded.
That was my favorite part, is the fact that he was so confident in everything that he was doing that they filmed and recorded everything. Like, there is a recording of him describing – she wrote about it in the book, describing what the branding should be.
Yeah.
Like, should look sacrificial. And the recording starts with Allison saying, like, okay, it's this day at this time, Keith and I talking about the branding ceremony. And then they go on to talk about the branding ceremony.
You're just doing the lawyer's job.
I know.
Here. You want evidence? Here.
Have it all. He was so confident that he could, like, brainwash the world into thinking he was doing a good thing. It's bananas to me. Bananas.
He got disturbingly far. And he had politicians in his fucking group. So many actors. I know.
Well, because they did the actor program.
Yeah. I knew, like, of course, the Smallville ones, but fuck, like, Gerard Butler was in one of them. Jennifer Aniston, they say they were. I don't know if they actually were, but.
And maybe they took, like, just one.
Yeah.
Or it was, like, just a free seminar that they're, like, trying to get, and they went to that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, like, they were all in the cult, but, like, a lot of them, like, checked it out.
That's how big they got. They were getting, like, up there.
I wonder how many of them just walked in like, oh, it's another cult.
As soon as you see the sash and the weird handshake, you're like, yep, nope.
I like it out of this.
Bye. What did you think the most showboaty thing he did was, where it's just like, okay.
His annual week-long retreat at the fancy fucking place where
V-Week.
It's Vanguard Week and everything's about Keith. He had shows, performances done for them.
Talent shows.
Oh my
God. Yeah.
And all the fucking speeches like, oh, Keith, yes, this is all for you.
Changed
I live my life for you. Ugh. And he just sit there with, like, this stoic face.
Just, like, so expectant. Just, like, obviously you're saying that. He didn't even, like, have a big smile on his face. So it's just like, yes, of course.
Every week. Hundreds of people every year went to this fucking place. Bananas. Just for him. A week-long birthday celebration.
Yeah. I imagine some of the people who were there were probably like, this is stupid, but I just came for the fun, like the sports and stuff.
Yeah.
Just here for bonding.
Just to do that for that one fucking guy.
Yeah.
Out of control. I don't care how many sports you throw at me. I don't want to do this for you.
Well, that's in another documentary. They were saying that it started out as just like a day where it's like, we'll just have a big birthday party for him. And then it turned into a weekend. And they did that a couple times. And then they were like, no, we're doing a whole week retreat.
And even that, they pack it full of ways that they can manipulate and get more followers.
Yeah. But they thought they were doing something good, right? We're changing the world.
I don't even know, like, what was their core message?
It was about...
Out of all the shit I've read, the documentaries, what were they how were they trying to change the world? In what way?
They were trying to make people, I guess, more confident and empowered and, like, more accountable for their own actions and stuff. So they thought, like, we're training people to, like, take responsibility for their own shit and...
Again, none of it sounded like they were doing anything.
Oh, I know. It's like, that's not enough to just change the world.
Yeah, how are you going to change
America?
The world with that?
I don't...
He wanted his own kind of, like, army of people.
Oh, I know. They always do.
What is the whole plan? If I was in this cult, they were trying to recruit me, I would be like, what is your entire game plan? Clearly, in stages, what are you trying to do?
But that's how they got it. Because they're just like, it's just a self-help program. But it's like they promoted it as this, like, big, like, next-level thing. It's like a self-help program you've never seen before with new technology. That's what they call it, right? Just like Scientology, which I loved all the nods to Scientology. Because he obviously copied so much.
Oh, from not just Scientology, fucking every cult out there, he got enough from them. And again, she points it out. I love...
Yeah. That was
love
funny.
the roasting.
I like that too. That was good. But yeah, he got way too much inspiration from Scientology. Yeah. With the defectors being this suppressive person and all that stuff. But also, how can we write books like this, where it's like comparing this cult to Scientology, but then Scientology is not considered a cult by the government? How did we get
they have
here?
enough powerful people in it that they can get away with it. But one day, just like this cult, they'll have their due. And we'll be like, yep, that was a cult. We've all been noon. We all knew that was a fucking cult.
Yeah.
And took years, but all right.
Well, one of the biggest red flags was the fact that psychologists and psychiatrists were not allowed in the program.
Oh,
because they asked too many questions.
You are trying to basically rewire the way someone thinks. Of course you should have psychiatrists, psychologists in there, you dumb motherfuckers.
If you're confident in what you're doing and what you're doing is good, you would welcome the questions because you'd be able to like, bam, 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 knock them down.
Yep.
But you know that you're a piece of shit, so it's like, we can't have psychologists. They ask too many questions.
But that was just red flag after red flag.
I actually just started laughing when I read that. I was like, cool.
Listen, there's a lot of people, like, they're lost. They don't know what to put their support into. A lot of trauma and a lot of societal problems. So we're ripe for some cult action.
What do you think would have been the red flag for you at, like, your first
NXIVM meeting? Ooh. I think the Vanguard thing and the sashes would weird me out. And, of course, the whole you have to pay each session is like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And you have to bring more people with you. Mm-hmm. So that just, first of all, that's just a pyramid scheme. So I wouldn't necessarily be like, this is a cult. I'd just be like, these are our con men.
Yes. This is just another terrible multi-level marketing plan.
To $4,000, but if you sign up now, it will make it $2,000. The next one is $6,000, but it's cheaper if you bring like 5 people. Nope. Oh, brutal. Yeah, they say it's a self-help thing, but it's so business. I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
No.
That's true. Self-help things I feel like would be free, like...
Yeah, a quiet retreat or something.
Yeah, like there are paid retreats where you're like, oh, I'm going to go on a meditation retreat or something. You know what you're doing. You know what you're there for, specifically meditation.
And they'll give you the whole itinerary. There's no like, 2 weeks from now we're having session 2. It's double the price.
Oh, fuck, maybe they do that. I haven't been to one.
I hope not. Fuck off.
Upsell. Here we go. I feel like
I'm sorry I'm having a mental breakdown. Let me just give you all my money to fix it.
Yeah. I guess it's the thing. It's the scheme if they have many, many levels and layers. Because I'm thinking of like Joe Dispenza has like a day retreat program and then it also has a week-long one. But I think that's it. You do those 2 and then you're done. It's not like there's 10 million other steps.
I think the biggest red flag, it's the Vanguard thing.
Vanguard.
Anyone who puts himself above everyone else.
Big red flag.
No true, like, leader,
Self-help,
profound dude would be like, yes, I'm the Vanguard. Signal me out. Honor me specifically. No.
Well, and they had to, like, thank his picture at the end of class.
Nope.
Like, why? He's
no.
not there.
I'm sorry, is he Jesus Christ?
And even still,
I'm not thanking the deity.
I'm not thanking the picture.
Yeah.
Have you been in
building? Have you been in textbooks for thousands of years? No. You're just a fucking guy.
Shocking. Oh boy. Red flags. I liked that Sarah Edmondson also saw those as red flags, but she had paid for the 5 days, and that's how they get you.
Yep.
Make you pay for all 5 days up front. So she's like, well, I'm just going to go to the rest, and then she got hooked.
Also, like, a lot of the people that they target, the rich, like, powerful white people who live, especially the ones in fucking Hollywood. That's kind of they're used to that shit. They go to a lot of weird hippy dippy retreats.
That's true.
It's like, okay, we'll fucking sing Kumbaya in a circle. Maybe we'll get a little nude. Whatever. It's just a Saturday for us.
Just a Saturday. That's fair. Some people have strange lives. We wouldn't know.
Like there was that time Kabbalah was such a huge thing in the celebrity circles. Some kind of yoga, I think.
Oh,
they had those red bracelets. It was a huge thing. They do a lot of weird shit like this. So, of course, they'd go and just think, like, it's kind of weird, but whatever. It's just some phase in here.
Maybe I'll get something out of it.
Yeah. And they have the time and money to do all this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. This book had a lot of detail. Like,
oh, yeah.
I watched the 2 documentaries and I've read like a fucking 100 articles prior, and I still learned so much from this book because she spoke to people that like the media hasn't really been speaking to that much as far as I was aware. So like we're getting new stories. So it's so worth the read just for that.
I liked all the imprisonment stuff and the whole into detail about what her almost 2 years locked in that room was like.
Yes.
That was haunting.
And how she was writing her own little daily newspaper for herself, like to keep herself busy.
Yeah.
Because you don't think about like...
She full on lost her mind.
How could you not?
Yeah.
2 years, your bedroom's bare. They've taken everything. You're not allowed to leave. And if you do leave, you're fucked because you don't have a phone. You don't have a wallet.
And even he's so like he got her family were on board with it.
That's brutal. I couldn't imagine. But I think even after everything happened, her family was still on his side, right?
Yeah, there's a rift. I don't know if they're necessarily on his side or they're just ashamed of what happened. They're putting it on her, though.
Oh.
Not you guys who are like, yeah, lock her up.
You're the parents. Come on. This shows people don't grow up, do you?
Fuck.
The convictions and sentencing part of this book made me very happy because I do know some of the convictions that have happened because it was so recent.
I loved the judge.
I got his quote because he's so
I knew
sassy.
nothing about the actual court thing. Yeah. You know, I didn't read any court documents. So the judge, oh, yes.
Yeah, Judge Garafis, just an amazing person. So when Keith's defense was trying to say that he had no ill intent sexually assaulting a minor, the judge interrupted him and made him stop, saying, I'm not going to tolerate spending time on what his intent was when he seduced a 15-year-old girl. It's an insult to the intelligence of anyone who listens.
Yes.
And I fucking loved that.
The whole fucking time with their like, oh, yeah, but who's really the abuser here? He was like, no.
No. And Nancy Salzman went on the stand saying the exact same thing about like, you know, if you rape a child, it's only considered rape by the society. The child might think it's fine until they're told they've been raped.
I have read and watched that quote from her and Keith over and over, and I want to just go in there and just my fist and reach out for his heart and then just take it out.
Yeah.
It's a kid getting raped.
But it's because society told them it was bad. No,
it's just bad. No, it's just bad. That's a child.
There's a reason we've come up with certain laws.
Yeah.
You know?
Idiots. Even they're like, the child thought it was fucking fine. They were having a great time until someone said. No, they were just traumatized and going through life in whatever way they can because they can't fucking understand yet exactly what the hell happened.
And sometimes as a child you agree to things from an authority figure because you're scared of what happens if you don't.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to say no yet because you're still young.
Yeah, because you're a child.
Brutal. Some people didn't get enough jail time, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, Lauren Salzman, I think she got time served, 5 years probation, and then 300 community service hours or something. And it's like she was one of the head honchos with, like, the money stuff and all this other shit, the DOS, everything.
The Bronfman sisters, both of them should have been fucked.
Right?
They got it. I mean, the one of them did get the longest sentence of the women. It was like 6 years or something.
Yeah.
But still, that's nothing.
I know.
For a rich white girl, please. Put her in there for like 10, 20 years. Men. They were the ones that funded all their shit.
And because they still were on his side,
yes,
weren't they?
Yes.
They still thought he was a good guy.
Nikki Klein,
come on.
too.
And I can't believe
I
that.
don't know what she's doing now, but I hope she has come to her senses, dear God.
Yeah, because I don't think she was on trial for anything. Because she wasn't really calling shots anywhere.
Yeah, she's just part of it.
But Allison Mack got 3 years, and I think that's he said, I know, because like Lauren Salzman, he was saying you're also a victim. That's why I'm not giving you like the full sentence that I could.
Yeah.
Because that's true. They were victims. They showed remorse in their statements, saying, like, I completely regret everything I did. Whereas he showed no remorse, said he wasn't guilty. So it's like, well, you get 120 years.
Yep.
Bada boo.
Good for you.
Ho.
Yeah, their whole situation is interesting. They were brainwashed. They are victims.
Yeah.
But they also
did
did commit
things.
a crime. Severe, intense crimes.
Yeah.
So
you should still pay for those crimes.
Yeah.
But not 120 years because you were also
No.
victimized yourself.
If any of them...
you need to pay your time while also getting a lot of therapy.
Yes.
I think that's it. Like deprogramming.
Yes.
There are deprogrammers.
Oh, yeah.
Do they give those to inmates?
For them, I hope
I
so.
feel like they
Clear
should.
brainwash and manipulation,
Yeah.
please, God.
Right? If you want actual rehabilitation, give them the deprogrammer while they're in prison.
I'd say like 10 years. No, max don't go over 10 years.
Yeah.
But you were human traffickers.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
Still bad.
Yep.
Nancy Salzman is actually going to be sentenced in a couple days. So by the time this episode is up, her sentencing will have happened, but we don't know what it is right now.
Yeah, because she was basically the next, like it was Keith and then
then Nancy. Yeah, she's a psycho. She was the one doing the neuro-linguistic programming.
She should get maybe not as much, like 100, but I wouldn't trust her out there though.
No.
After years of doing that.
And she showed no remorse either. She, on the stand, said if the whole thing about raping a kid. She obviously can't be trusted.
Yeah.
Give her 80 years. She's old anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck it. What's she going to do?
Yeah.
She had her chance, and this is the route she went down.
That's right. She had a successful
You're done.
business.
You're done.
And then she's like, I'll join Keith.
Just take her like, no.
Ruin your life, you
There you
stupid
go.
idiot.
You could write your papers in prison. No one will read them and we'll never get them published. But, you know, you can write them.
For you.
Do that, yeah.
Maybe your daughter will read it. She
Don't put her
hates you.
in fancy people prison either. Like Gen Pop.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the gutter.
In the gutter. Yeah. No special treatment.
Sort them women out. You ladies, would you like to improve yourselves? Beat her.
Bam! Socked in the face. Whoopsies. The amount of women that had sex with this man.
I watch a lot of true crime. I've seen a lot of shit. I've looked at a lot of killers. Okay. Mm-hmm. He gives me such a physical... It was so hard to watch Seduced.
I know.
I can't listen to his voice. I don't want to look at him. It makes, like, my whole body is like, he is wrong.
Yeah.
Get away from him. Even if it's
repulsion.
on TV, I can't. I had to fast forward all of his shit. I can't look at him.
I hate him so much.
I've only had that strong a reaction to the two Richards, Richard Chase and Ramirez. So he's right in there with them.
Yeah.
He may not have, like, mutilated people like the other two did, but
did
his
that enough.
mental shit is worse than...
He was building a BDSM dungeon, but, like, still promoting it as self-help and empowerment.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
my
he
God.
wanted to change the entire world. He wanted to make the whole world his bitch, basically.
He was such a baby.
His slaves, yeah. Because he's this fat, stupid little tub who's just like, what do I do?
Yeah. He knows he's a loser, so he's just trying whatever he can to not be a loser. But, like, Daniela told him, hey, I'm in love with this other guy, and he fucking lost his mind.
Yep, locked her in a room for 2 years.
Then locked her in a room for 2 years. But, like, fucking screaming and, like,
and
how could you do this to me?
She did the wrong thing, even though he is having sex with all your daughters at this point.
Right, everyone.
2 of which are minors, and you're locking her up.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Yep.
You know how it goes.
Yep.
What was the creepiest part about the whole cult experience for you?
The DOS thing. I really hate... They're just so smart. Right? Even, like, in the courses and shit, you're busy all day, 24/7. So your entire life is that group. And you need to be ready at all hours of the day. They'll text you at, like, 4 a.m. You had 60 seconds to reply, or someone, either you or someone you love, has to do penance for it.
Yeah.
How can I not say that word?
Penance?
It sounds like penis, and I want to say penis.
Someone will have to do penis for this.
Like, that whole thing is wild.
Yeah.
I
just can't believe it went so far.
Yeah. Oh, for years.
I can't believe it went so far.
I don't know. That's why cults are scary.
That's why cults are scary, exactly. Because it just happens, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, where did my life go?
Yep.
Oops.
And there was one girl in the Seduced documentary. She was raped as a kid. And she went to one of the classes where they were like, yeah, if you were raped, like, who was the victim really? Is it you or the rapist?
Oh, my God.
You weren't really raped. You put yourself in a situation to be raped. And she was saying, like, I couldn't hear that shit. I hated it. I wanted to leave, but I didn't. She didn't leave for, like, 2 years still, even though, like, it made her sick to hear that. But they got her so much with that.
Yeah.
And then you have to do all the collateral damage, so you cannot leave, or they'll ruin your whole life or your family's lives.
I don't think, this is just personal opinion, if I gave collateral of nude photos, I would have no issue leaving. I'd be like, go, leak it. What do I fucking care? Yeah. Oh, your naked body's out on the internet. That's fine. Yeah. Google is probably watching me every time I shit. Whatever. Yeah. Deal with it. You
want to see a titty? You can see a titty in seconds.
Exactly. Like, don't worry about it.
Get a vagina on my phone right now. There it is. All right. We've all got them. We've all got parts, you know? You want to starve me and beat me, or look at my titty? You can look at my titty. All right, bye.
Bye. That's basically how I felt. But.
And they made them, like, they would lie and say, like some of them did have terrible family secrets. But some of them were like, oh, yeah, my dad molested me.
Right.
Just to have something they could say.
Yeah. But and the fact that they were telling them, like, oh, yeah, you can just make something up, because it's like, it doesn't matter. It's just, like, and then you embarrass you.
You even more can't leave, because then you know, like, that didn't happen, so then your dad's going to get fucked.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want people to think that happened.
Yeah.
Like, well, then maybe you shouldn't have given it as collateral.
They had no choice, bro.
I know. It's crazy.
Yep. It's crazy. All those people who say that, they could have just as easily been in this cult, bro.
You know that he said, it started at the top with him saying, if you can't think of collateral, just make something up. You know he started that, so they were like, now we're going to tell everyone to do that.
What's your collateral? Vicious cycle.
Exactly. It continues.
Yeah, there was one girl who was saying something about, I don't know if he killed something, but, like, he was involved in it, and they were like, well, we can't use this because it could go back to him.
Yeah. It's like, oh.
Again,
well,
just how many? Okay. I'm overburdened with the red flags at this point. I don't know what to do here.
Whole backpack full. What was your song or movie show?
Ooh, I picked "Sign of the Gypsy Queen" by April Wine.
Nice.
I like the whole. It's got that hippie kind of vibe to it. It's very like a woman coming into town. Like, this is bad. Y'all need to leave, or there's no winning if you stay here. Mm-hmm. So I got that.
Nice. I did Male Fantasy by Billie Eilish because it came out yesterday.
Nice. I didn't hear that one, but I like the vibe of her album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got good vibes. But yeah, I heard that and immediately thought of Keith, where it's like the woman who like wants to leave him and let him go but just can't. And it's like, even though he's making you do all this shit, you still keep coming back. And, brutal. And then obviously show pairings are like Seduced or The Vow.
Yeah.
But also American Horror Story Cult. Ooh, that works too.
Yeah, that's good.
It's all
Did
culty.
You prefer The Vow or Seduced?
I preferred The Vow for its like behind the scenes actual footage, because Mark Vicente filmed so much.
Yeah.
But I preferred Seduced for all the behind the scenes DOS information, because she had more of that.
Yeah, I think I liked Seduced more just because it just painted, like,
a dirty picture.
The evilest things they were doing. It was like, this is... The other one, it was like both of them, you'll see all the people in this book. So if you're curious to learn more about it, you'll see them all in both of them. Seduced is from India's perspective. Really. The Vow is from Mark and Sarah Edmondson. Yes, so Seduced is like, if you want the sex slave stuff, there it is. If you want the business fuckery and the overall fuckery.
And because, The Vow shows like how it sucked them in too, with all the promises of great things.
Yeah.
So it's like, it gets you more in the mindset, I guess. They're both so good for their own reasons.
It's so wild because all of them after, every single one of them are like, yeah, he's disgusting. I truly, I've had years of therapy now. I don't know how it happened to me. Because he just fucking brainwashed them all so hard. They have no idea.
And that's the thing, though. They didn't meet him first. When you join, you meet, either Nancy or the just coaching leader, right? Yeah. And then they just talk Keith up. They make it this big game. He's the best. He's great. He's the smartest man on the planet, blah, 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 blah. So by the time you meet him, you're thinking, wow, this little shit. But then you're still also thinking all those things in the back of your mind.
There has to be something here. Everyone loves him so much.
He's the smartest man, so I guess I have to respect him even though he's this little potato.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's nothing. He's nothing.
He is nothing. What are your thoughts on forgiveness for the higher-up women like Lauren Salzman and Allison Mack?
Ooh.
Not Nancy. Don't forgive Nancy.
Yeah, Nancy's disgusting. Look, they are victims of him. They did horrible things, yes, but at least they acknowledge that they did horrible things. They're starting to see oh yeah, this whole thing. Even they're confused about it.
Yeah.
So if they don't even know, some of them reported they lost hours. They think they went to see him. 4 hours passed. They had no idea what they discussed.
Yeah, because he was working with hypnosis and stuff.
That's terrifying. You can't.
So you can't trust what your brain did and what you said during that period of time. How could you?
As long as that, they do all seem to genuinely they seem traumatized. They seem horrified by what they did. So forgive them, yes. As long as they never, they're never going to forget that they sex trafficked people. They abused women.
Yeah, as long as they're actually remorseful.
Yeah. So, I guess we'll just have to see with them all where they go from this.
I'm very curious if any of them is going to write a book.
I hope so.
It's one of those things I'm going to have to read it.
Yeah, because you know a lot more about Allison Mack. You said she just wanted to help people. They all seem like they either in their lives they were broken in some way, or they just really wanted to help other women.
They all started from a very good place.
Yeah,
and that's why it's so sad.
Yeah,
because they just wanted to do good things.
Because they could have done a lot with this cult if they were actually doing some of the shit they were.
Promising.
Not the ones where you're yeah, it's not assault ever. No, but actually the ones who are think about your actions. Why you did this thing. Where is it coming from?
Yes, and because I noticed watching The Vow, listening to Mark and Sarah talk to each other, oh my God, their communication skills are off the fucking charts. Yeah. And they learned all of that in NXIVM, which is insane because they're the best communicators. They're telling them well, you saying that makes me feel like this. And it's holy shit, these guys are just doing it right.
So there is parts of it because there were very smart people that got involved in this cult. So they did make something interesting that could be used in the right hands.
Yeah, and then they took it way too far.
Yep.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting seeing such good communicators on TV, especially we were watching fucking slasher films all the time where everyone's just you're a dick and runs away.
Sounds about that,
right? So it's a good change of pace.
A lot like Michael Scott. Most of the time I'll start a sentence and then it just I don't know where I'm going. I hope I get there in the end.
And that's what counts. I love Michael Scott.
I hope they at least take it. Maybe they don't start another cult, but say okay, we did learn some skills here.
Yeah.
Let's build something fun. Normal classes.
Yeah. Well, Sarah Edmondson has a podcast now, which I like. It's good. It's neat. They're interviewing each other, essentially. She interviewed Leah Remini from Scientology. So
that's fun. Oh, yeah. I love how she'll pack no push. She'll tell you straight up everything that they did. She doesn't give a fuck.
But she joined when she was young, right? So she spent her entire youth questioning everything, and they hated her for it because they're like, can you just shut up and accept it? And she's like, no.
Tell me why, motherfucker. Yeah.
She's so fiery.
If someone gives you shit for asking why, run.
Yes. Oh my God. Every time, run.
just run. There should be no one who's like, oh, well, you should. If they get flummoxed, leave.
I require blind faith. Bye. See you never.
Oh, boy.
Good book.
Yeah.
Fun cult.
I am happy
terrible,
I'm done with him now.
Yeah.
I just would like him out of my brain.
He's already going to jail, so we can put it aside.
Yep. Never.
Sorted.
He's going to apply for parole. I hope he never gets out. I don't think he's going to get out.
I hope not.
What lunatic. If someone lets this fucker out of jail, Jesus Christ. No, someone will kill him.
I don't think he's getting out. I think it'll be fine.
No, he can never. That's a cookie you can't fucking fix. That cookie's cracked.
Yeah. We'll keep him in jail, keep Paul Bernardo in jail, just shut it.
He's going to be interesting as an old man in jail. The whole time he'll be like, oh, I just don't know why I'm here.
Oh my God.
The world just didn't want to hear what I had to say.
That's how he's going to play it off. Like he's still this big boy. Oh my God. Brutal. Ugh. Yeah, he grosses me out.
Well, enjoy the prison system, you fuck. I'm sure they'll love you.
Yeah.
You want a harem of lovers?
Now you
can be in one.
There you go. They will not be monogamous to you. No. Good luck.
Now you will be the slave.
Yeah. Yay. Well, at least our next theme is kind of, it's lighter. Every theme is lighter than true crime.
Yep.
We're doing witches around the world.
Because there's never enough witchcraft.
And because fall is coming and Halloween.
It's time to do witchcraft. Very excited about this. It's been on my radar for a while. Witches Steeped in Gold is my pick by Sianan Smart.
Oh, yes.
Sorry. Divided by their order, united by their vengeance. Ira has spent her life in a cell. But every day brings her closer to freedom and vengeance. Jasmine is the queen's daughter, but unlike her sister before her, she has no intention of dying to strengthen her mother's power. Sworn enemies, these two witches enter a precarious alliance to take down a mutual threat, but power is intoxicating. Revenge is a bloody pursuit, and nothing is certain except the lengths they will go to win this game. This Jamaican-inspired fantasy debut about two enemy witches who must enter into a deadly alliance to take down a common enemy has the twisted cat and mouse of Killing Eve with the richly imagined fantasy world of Furyborn and Ember in the Ashes.
Dope.
Hell yeah.
I'm so excited.
Witchcraft in Jamaica. Let's go.
Let's go. Oh,
the cover looks cool.
Yeah.
It sounds exciting. I love witches who are enemies, but then they come together for even worse threats.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got that subscription box with the whole all themed witches steeped in gold. So now I have all this witchy stuff themed like that book cover.
I think all three of our picks this month are YA.
Oh, are they?
My second pick is YA.
And is Nature of Witches?
That's YA.
Oh, okay.
YA month, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, witch.
I love YA witch books. They're really good.
I feel like they get more into the actual magic without it being too intense. Like, this is a fireball.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like weird Pathfinder sorcery. It's actually like more empowering magics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
So excited. Well, thank you for listening.
Yes, as always. Thank you.
And please check us out on all of the things we said earlier.
Yes. Don't start a cult.
Don't start a cult.
Think thoughts of Keith just living a miserable life.
Ah, yes. And we'll make it so.
Yeah. Yes.
That was Lillian.
That's Chelsea.
And we're going to have witches next time. Bye. Yay.
Shh.